Good Time is actually perfect. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this, but in my mind, what I want in a movie, from sound, direction, writing, acting, score, etc., etc., it's everything I want in a movie and more.
So Good Time is essentially about this mook named Connie, his mentally disabled brother, Nick, and they decide to rob a bank, and to say the least, that goes fucking AWire. Stop running! One thing leads to another, and Nick is captured and sent to Rikers Island. And the rest of the movie takes place on that night, showing Connie going through New York and manipulating people so he can get his brother out of prison.
Like, that story alone is fucking bonkers, but it's executed in such a brilliant and powerful and potent way. The movie stars Robert Pattinson as Connie, and he gives maybe one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. Everything about this movie is such a feat in filmmaking that I haven't seen yet. Well, actually, no, I've seen a lot of like the guerrilla filmmaking. It reminds me a lot of like John Cassavetes films, but it takes elements from all of those and makes it into something new and really different. And that's thanks mostly due to Josh and Benny Safdie, the directors of the movie.
The movie is directed by the Safdie brothers, which consists of Josh and Benny Safdie. They're two New York native filmmakers who have been making feature films since 2008. Josh starting with The Pleasure of Being Robbed, and Benny starting the following year with Daddy Longlegs, which was their first collaboration with Ronald Bronstein, who became a future co-writer and co-editor for their films. Josh and Benny have brought both of their different cinematic mentalities or views on how a story should be told into all their films. Josh with a very romantic view of things, and Benny wanting to show the more controversial and realistic side of things.
Me and Josh kind of like balancing each other out, because he saw a lot of beauty in that world and in the people.
Could you talk about the different or what you would identify as Josh's sensibility and your sensibility?
In a way, I guess you could say he's more. I could put it. Let's look at Daddy Longlegs as an example. Attitude towards our father. You know, he's a little bit more forgiving and romantic in his view of him, and I'm much more critical and just kind of matter of fact about it. And so you put those two together, and you get an honest portrayal of a human being. You get the loving side, and you get the critical side.
This is present in almost all of their films, with a lot of their main characters having ambitious or optimistic expectations of things, pretty much hustling to their goals, but executing them or encountering very hindering or problematic road bumps that eventually leads to a mixed bag of emotions, with a lot of their endings having a dual feeling of something horrible or something happy. Whether it's Daddy Longlegs, Heaven Knows What, or even John's Gone, this is a formula that Josh and Benny have implemented into all of their films. This is definitely the case with this film too. Connie has this very romanticized idea of robbing a bank, which is a fucking horrible and stupid idea, but whatever. He's a stupid person. But it goes so bad that his brother goes to prison, and he loves his brother so much that he decides to go on this fucking wacky-ass adventure that only a fucking schmuck like him would come up with. And it leads him down a road of drugs, underage sexual advances, violence, and a bunch of other crazy-ass shit that I don't really want to get into. This all culminates to the ending, which almost backs away from Connie's romanticized and unrealistic view to look at how badly he's fucked up everyone's life, and even his. It cuts to Nick at a special needs treatment center affected by the absence of Connie, coming to terms of his abusive and manipulative relationship with his family in a truly heartbreaking scene.
Not only is this aspect of their filmmaking great, but they also pay so much attention to detail to make sure that everything about this movie is as accurate and as realistic as it can be.
Yeah, at one point he wanted me to keep a journal, you know, of what jail was like. I was locked up for a little while in Rikers, and he wanted me to keep a journal, like, you know, from hour to hour, what it's like in there, to help with the, you know, jail scenes in this movie. I think Josh and Benny are really, they're really on point with what they do. Like, they don't just rush from one scene to the next. They really want to nail the scene. They want to nail it. They want to get it perfect.
Like, the directors, like, on the commentary or as the bonus features or some shit like that, they said that in like an actual like real life inmate came up to them and said, oh no, you don't block it this way. This is how it would actually go down. This is how people would move in a cell like this during like a fight or whatever scene it was in. Instead of like blocking it the way that a normal filmmaker would, they would block it in a way that it would be in real life. Also the handheld camera work, the extreme close-ups, the music choice, the blocking, as I said, the way they portray New York, like, is perfect. It's honestly one of my favorite portrayals in New York, right up there with like Goodfellas or something. Like, everything about their attention to detail and their style is perfect for me, and it's perfect for this story. Alright, I'm gonna be brief with this because all I can say is that it's fucking awesome. Everything about it, the story, the characters, the sequence of events, the dialogue especially, everything about the writing is absolutely fantastic. Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie deserve a goddamn Nobel Prize just for the flashback scene alone. Like, that scene is the pinnacle of well-written dialogue. Like, the editing too is really great. It's very focused and precise, very fast-paced, and the match cut at the end, like that's just la cinema right there. Well, shit, I'm kind of biased with this one, because I'm a sucker for neon lighting and synthesizers, so of course I was gonna love this. The music reminds me of something that you'd hear on Cops or Law and Order, which is definitely something that was a big inspiration for this. Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie watched almost all of the episodes of Cops in preparation for this movie. And the movie's definitely like an episode of Cops, but instead of focusing on like the police officers, it's focusing on like the drug pushers or just like the fucking maniacs in the show. And plus it's an essential late night show, and this movie portrays like late nights, especially in the city, perfectly, although I'm not sure that's the main reason why the music is kind of like that. I bet it's just for something else, maybe the first reason, which makes more sense, but that's just something I noticed and something that I can, relate to. Also, the beautiful neon lights and the harsh shadows, like, that's just so fantastic. And it really shines a light on, like, the beautiful and the disgusting side of New York, with the beautiful being the neons and the disgusting being, like, the very harsh and deep shadows. I know I'm sounding like a broken record in this episode, but the acting is also just fucking perfect. Robert Pattinson. Oh my god. I mean, I knew that he was in a bunch of indie movies at that point, but I had only seen him in Twilight. I'm not gonna talk about it, not because I hate it, but because everyone acts like it's the fucking Holocaust. Yeah, so enough of that shit. Just get over it. But Robert Pattinson has definitely become one of my favorite actors because of this movie. I've watched like High Life and a few other movies I'm forgetting. The Lost City of Z. He was great in that too. And he's honestly just so fantastic in almost every movie that he's in. And I'm excited for him to be in Batman. But besides that, he is perfect. Everything about it. He's very skinny and kind of disgusting. I feel like that's a harsh thing to say, but it's a skinny little dude that he plays, and it's just kind of looks like a fucking heroin addict. Like, his skinny body and his very like almost like nervous movements, like they're very fast and tense, that I thought really emphasizes like the very like emotion that Connie's going through. It's just like constant intensity, and that's what his body movements really emulate. And his accent, like, holy shit, it is flawless.
Excuse me.
You Peter?
Yes, I am. We're in the middle of... Hello.
Nick, what are you doing?
We're in the middle of something here. We're in the middle of an exam. Hey, Nick,
about
Nick.
the stuff and the pan and the chicken.
Wait, please.
How would you like it if I made you cry, huh? Would you like that?
No, I would not.
Come on, get up.
They
told me I had to do this stuff. Let's go, let's go.
No,
but
he
has all my stuff. Goes down all my stuff. Shut up then.
Foreign actors, when they do an American accent, it never is perfect. Naomi Watts does it a lot, but she has her little tics, and Nicole Kidman too. But he has zero like little tics of like his British accent coming through. No, it just sounds like he's from fucking Queens. Benny Safdie, he plays Nick, the retarded brother, and he's so convincing as someone with a mental disability. Like, the makeup helps with that whole thing. But there's little aspects, like the dead stare with like zero eye contact and the lisp. It's just all so fantastic. He did such an amazing job.
What does that mean to you, that expression? Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Don't count your chickens.
Okay.
What are you writing down?
Well, the reason I'm asking you the questions is because I'm supposed to write down
Yeah, but
your
that's
answers.
what I'm saying. Why are you writing that down?
So in case I forget it later.
But I don't like people talking about me after I go places.
I don't blame you. I'm not talking about it. This is just for me. These are my own notes. No one sees them but me.
I don't like it, but...
Here's another one.
Talia Webster, Necro, and Jennifer Jason Leigh all did a fantastic job. And the guy from Captain Phillips, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I would fuck it up really bad. But he did a great job too for like the 5 minutes that he's in. But the one person that steals the show is my boy Buddy Duress as Ray.
I remember being dropped off by a bus. The jail releases me, the bus drops me off right in front of a liquor store on the corner. I mean, after doing 2 years in jail, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen, man? I'm gonna want a fucking drink.
He is a fucking goofy schmuck, and I love every scene that he's in.
He just kept talking to me, and I'm fucking tripping balls.
Like, even when he's not being some goofy mook, he's just so entertaining to see perform. The flashback scene is, like, my favorite scene in the movie. Like, the writing, directing, cinematography, score, everything about it. But the thing that seals the deal in that scene is Buddy Duress. Like, he is so fucking funny in this movie. He's amazing.
And literally the next thing I remember is I'm running down some random street, and I just see a fucking cab, and I hail it, and I just get in.
Like, that run down the street is perfect. It's like my favorite thing out of 2017. Actually, no. No, that's not true. Maybe like the last hour of Twin Peaks: The Return, but that's about it. Like, those two tied. Those two scenes are tied for like best things out of 2017. I watched most of Josh and Benny's films while making this video, and I have to be honest, they've probably become one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. I'm right with the list of these guys, because I'm not gonna fucking list them all because there's too many, but they're in the ranks of those guys. They love what they do, and watching them talk about movies is just so awesome to see. The brotherly love is present in almost all of their interviews, and it's definitely implemented in a lot of their films like Daddy Longlegs and, well, Good Time. They're masters of their craft, and I'm so goddamn pissed that I missed seeing Good Time at the A24 public screening under like an underpass in Queens. Like, that's amazing. But I fucking missed it because I thought it was on a weekday. But no, it was on a fucking Saturday. But whatever. I'm excited to see Uncut Gems and help them revive Adam Sandler's career. No, Adam Sandler's good. He was great in the Meyerowitz Stories and Punch Drunk Love, but...
How we doing?
Your twin sister.
Are you going bald?
Huh?
No, you're getting fatter, and your hair doesn't realize it needs to cover more face.
Okay.
Those other movies fucking stink. But no, he looks, just from like the one photo that I've seen, maybe the trailer came out by the time this review's up, but yeah, he, like, just like the one still, he looks fucking great. It looks like he nails the role. And because I missed the public screening, I'm gonna try and see Uncut Gems opening night in the city, because it's a fucking hustle to see their movies, but you know, I'm just so in love with their movies, and I want to see that as soon as I can. Because I'm not going to fucking Toronto, that's for sure, but, you know, I'll take the next best thing. Oh yeah, if you're watching this, call me. I'm up for anything. Cast me in something, just one fucking line or something, you know? Because I mean, come on, we like both share like a love for late night Cellino and Barnes commercials.
And what about Douglas Levinson? I mean, I love that guy too.
What kind of stoned out crap is this? You think that you guys are creating art? You think you're musicians? You know how to play and sing? It's a disgrace. It's a perversion of the creative process and a violation of the silence of what it is to create.
Have you ever heard Bob Dylan? We're stoned.
What this is a disgrace. You suck.
The story of my lifetime. My dirty That is where I